So, John, as you look back on your tenure as Attorney General, if you had to pick a mistake that you made, what would it be? And I'm going to ask Stan the same question.
About me or about him?
I'm going to ask you to disclose, to open the kimono and disclose a mistake you made.
Okay. I take very seriously my professional obligations. While I have been critical of the Colorado Supreme Court on occasions, I have always ensured that criticism is what we call not unduly critical. That's what the ethical, and I say with all due respect, all that sort of thing. At a partisan political gathering, I was confronted by one of these folks who's on the Clear the Bench campaign, and they said, in light of the mill levy freeze case, the Lobato school funding case, which has the potential of costing the Colorado taxpayers millions of dollars, don't you think we need to get rid of all 4 of the judges on the Colorado Supreme Court?
4 that are coming up for a retention vote.
I should have declined to answer the question. What I did was try to support one of the 4 by differentiating that person's record, particularly in criminal justice, from the record of the other judges. That caused the bloggers to jump on saying this judge was different, was critical of the other 3, and it resulted in a headline about my criticism of the court. Went too far and said I was in favor of non-retention. That sends the wrong message to the people in my office. We probably handle 50% of the cases in front of the court, and they need to go over there without that kind of thing. So that was a mistake I made.
All right, thank you, John. I really appreciate that. Stan, have you ever made a mistake?
I think I have. My wife's here. I think you could ask her. And John, let me just make sure I'm clear, because a lot of people have re-quoted you on this in support of the Clear the Bench effort. So are you saying here tonight, and if you are, I'm really tickled, that you don't support the Clear the Bench effort, and you don't support the non-retention of those 3 justices?
I have never been a part of Clear the Bench, and I'm not a part of any formal non-retention campaign or anything. Obviously, I'm going to make my own decisions in voting about whether to train the judges. So, yeah, you're exactly right. I have no connection whatsoever to
So
that
if they invoke that statement you made, that would be incorrect?
To the extent that they suggested that I was affiliated with the campaign in any...
okay.
That would be incorrect.
Great. Back to me and my mistakes. I certainly have made mistakes in both my private practice, where I've represented hundreds of clients in lots of complex matters. One of the things that I think has been interesting for me as I've moved through my career is understanding kind of the refinement that a lawyer develops as you move through cases and make decisions and move forward. And I think there's a great saying that basically says good judgment is what you get from bad judgment. Certainly I have occasionally made mistakes in terms of a judgment call or a strategy in a case, and have wished that I'd handled something differently. I also think, too, that when I took over the district attorney's office last January, and I imposed some fairly dramatic changes in both the culture and the structure of that office, which have worked out very well and have helped the office serve the community much better, as pretty much everybody in the Boulder law enforcement and judicial community would tell you. But I think I handled some of those changes in a way that was not quick enough and effective enough, and may have been more difficult for some of the people who were impacted by those than if I'd moved right after I took over the office.